right, so we are in the third episode of Wandavision now in color. And listen, man, let me tell you something. How good is this show? Who out there does not have a million theories about what's happening in this show? And I got a theory I'm going to share with you this video. But before we do, let's go over the technicals because, man, this show does such a good job of pulling us through the different periods. Those first two episodes we start in the 60s, and doesn't it capture the tone, the feel, the vibe of a 60s show? If you're old like me, you remember some of those shows, but the color grading, the writing, the performances, it's so on point with capturing that time period of sitcom that it is absolutely amazing in doing that. Now we move to the 70s in this episode, episode 3. We've got that Brady Bunch theme going on. Fantastic. Again, with the color grading, the feel, the tone, the performances, all of that done so well. And there are so many different pieces of information in WandaVision that just serve to really get you confused, right? I mean, you think you have a theory, you're like, okay, I'm good now, I know what's going on. Then you'll hear a line, or then you'll see something, you're like, oh, wait, this doesn't work. You're just confused, right? You're not really sure what's going on. That is one of the best things about this show. The mystery aspect of this, given it's a superhero genre and a lot different than what we've seen before, is so fascinating. But in this episode, episode 3, I think we get some things that nail it down for me. And now I'm ready to proclaim, I'm ready to state that I do think that Wanda is actually reality warping. I went back and forth before. I wasn't sure if Wanda was doing this or someone else was doing this and Wanda was subject to it. But now it seems pretty clear to me that it is Wanda that's reality warping. There are some holes in my theory because there are some things that I don't understand, but I'm pretty sure now that Wanda is doing the reality warping. Now let me tell you why I get confused, because maybe you can help me out with some comments or things like that, some stuff that I didn't notice that you picked up. If Wanda is controlling this, my level of tension in saying I'm absolutely 100% sure about that is the fact that some people are able to defy her chaos magic in the reality warping. The stork is an example of that. She specifically tries to use the magic on the stork, but the stork literally shakes his head like, no. He's able to defy it. And then you have some folks like Agnes that seem to sit outside of the reality warping, that seem to be able to operate within Wanda's reality warping if it is her, but they're not a construct of the reality. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm not sure how they're able to defy it if she is doing the reality warping. The same thing with Vision. Vision confuses me as well, because if Wanda is doing the reality warping, how is it that Vision has an awareness that something is off here? Unless Vision is truly there and he is not dead. Now some speculate that Vision is dead and he is just a construct of Wanda's reality warping because she is wanting to deal with all that's happened in the loss of Vision by literally warping reality and having her there with him kind of in this perfect and pristine world. But if that was the case, then Vision would not know that things are not pristine. So that makes me think that Vision is alive. Now, I will say this. I do think that given the fact that Vision is an android, that it's very possible for him to be alive. And I theorize that Siri might have something to do with that. That's my theory. Now, we do know that it's not implausible to say that because after this episode and the reference to Ultron, we do know that Wanda is connected to the MCU. And if that is the case, then she would have met Siri also from Black Panther. So I don't think that's totally out of the pale of theory. But that's what I think. I think that if he is there, if he is alive, Siri has something to do with that. And I think we might find that out later, but we will see. So that's where it gets confusing. The show does a good job of just twisting you up. When you think you have an idea of what's going on, you get a line, you get a reference, you get something that then makes you think, oh, maybe that's not it. I'm not really sure what's going on. But I do think, though, at this point, I'm pretty confident in saying that Wanda is doing the reality warping. There are some people outside of the constructs that she's created that have gotten into that reality that are trying to contact her. And I think that's being done for different reasons. I think that you have Sword in there. I think that you might have, well, I think it's Sword. At first I thought it was AIM, but now I think it's Sword that's definitely trying to connect with her. But you also might have Hydra in there as well. So maybe you do have AIM because you do have the reference to Strucker and you do see the Hydra symbol. So there's so much stuff going on here. And they're doing this, of course, on purpose to keep us off balance, to have us theorize, throw our theories out. And with each episode, we'll learn more, hopefully. But it's really exciting to see all of this. And of course, you have the birth of the twins, which makes people really excited because that makes you think, well, are we going to get Speed and Wiccan now in the MCU? And since we have those two in there, does that mean that Mephisto will be entering the MCU through WandaVision? So a lot of stuff to be excited about, a lot of stuff to think about. I was reading some theories online where people were saying that they think that Agnes and Mephisto are connected, and when Agnes talks about Ralph, she's actually talking about Mephisto. So there's a lot of stuff going on here to be unpacked, but I'm really enjoying WandaVision so far. Let me know what your theories are in the comments below, and let's talk differences with what you see and what I see. I can't wait to get into it. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.